Then a different kind of animal joined them in the air. As the dinosaurs dominated the land, so the pterosaurs now ruled the skies. Pterosaurs had wings of skin stretched between one enormously elongated finger and their flanks. They flew over the sea as well as the land. It seems likely that some roosted on cliffs and launched themselves into the air as gannets do today. They probably snatched fish from the surface of the sea, and some certainly fell into it. Their bodies were buried by mud, the mud turned to limestone and eventually became exposed in great quarries, like this one in southern Germany. Then spread them out, then it might easily lift into the air and so escape a land-bound predator. There's another possibility. Maybe that early reptile did not live on the ground, but climbed in the trees searching for food, as today the little flying lizard of Borneo does. It now glides from tree to tree. It has developed wings that are flaps of skin, supported by elongated ribs. If that early enterprising reptile with feathery scales did have specially long ones on its arms, then they too would have enabled it to glide from tree to tree. And maybe its arm muscles were even strong enough to allow it to make a few flaps to help it on its way. Archaeopteryx was certainly well equipped for climbing. If the skeleton still lay here, you would have to dig a huge pit to extract it. This bird was immense. It has been named, with good reason, the terror bird. Its wings were tiny, but it had long and powerful legs. This bird stood over 6 feet, 2 meters tall. The first human settlers on these islands saw these giants alive and called them moas. Among them were the tallest birds that ever existed, that weighed over 200 kilos, 400 pounds. There were about a dozen different species of varying size and weight. Up on the high moorlands, there were smaller species with thicker feathers to keep them warm. The absence of mammals didn't mean that the moas had no enemies. They were hunted by, of course, another bird. An immense eagle that could maneuver through the patchy forest. The only prey that was abundant enough to sustain such a giant were other birds, and it's probable that it was able to tackle even the biggest moa. Its talons were certainly long enough to stab right through a moa's flesh and into its pelvis, as some of the bones show.